Good morning, everybody. It's Clint, not Shell. Shell is here, though.
Hi, everyone.
She's sitting on the couch. Sorry, she's starting to feel better. She's still got somewhat of a headache, and
His
of course,
name is
she's
Clint.
got me. Yeah, yeah. I'm probably the biggest headache of all. So,
Amen.
I was going to do. Well, I've got 3 orders. Lord, do I got 3 orders? Not counting all the those ink blenders. So, but I have 2. Chanel book covers, and I got one of those. Got all the fabric put on the bowl material, and then I have there was a lady that was commented about a charity or something like that. I don't remember, and I was cut a little bit of fabric for her. It was purple lilac. Boy, that's gonna make one heck of a good. What do they call Ruffles? So, I still have my ruffler on, my singer. I know this is 103 years old. She was born in December of 1916. I know that's the way I think of it. So, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the ruffles. She was doing, I think, charity for church or something. I can't remember.
I don't remember, sorry.
And I don't have her name, Diana or something like that. I thought.
Yeah, I think it is Diane.
I don't know her last name, but I thought, well, I'd like to at least, do a couple things for her, give her. So, I cut 2 purple pieces, the one with flowers, and this one's a very pretty piece. Can't really see it. It's kind of more like a lilac. It's really a pretty color. So, and then we had a couple of people asking how I did, if I'd show how to do ruffles. I have a ruffler foot for my singer, and it's really easy to use. I don't backspace because it's kind of backspace, whatever, backstitch. It sews beautiful ruffles, and I really enjoy using it. I'm just using my white cotton thread. This is actually pretty much the only thread I use when I'm quilting and stuff. I just use this.
Can they see it okay?
Yeah, for the most part. They had I know Shell had talked to you about the camera she uses to record. Well, there was another camera, and I wanted it to take for my forerunner when we go to the mountains. I thought it'd be kind of fun. It's a remote control camera. Well, I was also thinking I could actually set it inside my singer, and I'd be able to show you exactly what what I'm working on. So I think we're going to try to set that up. But we want to go up to the mountains. It's been really rainy up there, and we know mushrooms are out. It's just been kind of a struggle with both of us not feeling good. I've been really battling the pain the last few months. Work has just been very hectic for me, and it's starting to take its toll. But it's getting close to fall and winter when my work will slow down, so I need to take. I'm getting kind of burnt out with work. I really am. I've done it for 28 years, and I love my job, but my body doesn't, and I'm having to paying the price for all the millions of miles I had to drive. So, and I'm really truly enjoying all the stuff that we're doing on Etsy and doing the videos, and with my gardening and stuff. I really I need to slow down. My body's telling me I have to slow down. It's a very hard thing for me to do. I've worked hard my whole life. And it's just, I don't like to let people down. And I know someone made a comment on one of them about how she couldn't believe how hard we worked or something like that. And it's true. But that's just the way I've been my whole life. I don't like especially as a locator. I hate letting someone down. So, you know, it's kind of been a struggle. And the company we locate for, our sorry guys, my fiber company, I just love dearly. They treat us amazing, and that's going to be one of my saddest days, I think, is to have to leave them. I just love working with them. So this is the fabric, or the ruffles that I was going to give her. The other thing is I was going to do some fabric flips. So let me see here if I can. I went ahead and cut these and glued these. I used my Stripology ruler to cut them. It's easier for me to do. Cutting is kind of like my Achilles heel. So I used the same fabric as I did in the ruffle on this side, and this side's looks like a lilac print kind of thing. So I have two of those. Actually, I have more than that. And I used my basting glue. There it is. I don't pin anymore. I just use it's a glue basted by Roxanne. It's a lot easier for me to do it that way than pin. I just not much. And when I sew with a guide, speaking of which, I do need to put that on there. Plus, I also need to take my foot off. Okay, let me pause it, and I'll get everything ready. Okay, sorry about that. Chuck told me to pause it when I'm changing my foot, so I did. I'm going to try to be a good husband. I do what I'm told, but let's be honest, I really don't do what I'm told. My dad had an extreme problem with authority. He was that movie Rebel Without a Cause. That was Dad. I don't know if I told you, but he was an aircraft mechanic. He worked on B-36s in the Air Force, but he hated it with a passion. Not the work, but he hated to be told what to do. So every day he'd go in his commander's office and ask for a discharge. So one day his commander said, "Okay, just get the heck out of here. I've had enough of listening to you asking me every day." And that was, and to be honest, what's that? I'm my father's son. You know, I'm that way too. I have a hard time being told what to do. So I have to hold my threads, you know, sometimes if they're not long enough, when you start to crank it, it will actually suck the thread through the needle, and then I have to rethread it. So I probably won't back stitch this one just because it's a kind of a pain in the butt to do it. If you back stitch it without you have to turn your fabric to back stitch. If not, it will actually break your threads. So
What are you doing now?
I'm just doing my 1/4 inch seam here on my, where are these fabric flips. I don't know, I should have just chain pieced that. It made life a lot easier on me. I'll do that on this one. I can show you. Here's so this is my seam right here, so I just put my little dots of basting glue there. You try to do it pretty close to the edge, that way you don't have to worry about it.
Could they see that?
I don't know. Can you see this, guys? She's hollering at me in the back, saying, "Do something, do this, do that, do this."
Well, I just couldn't see it.
Oh, yeah, she can't. Is that better?
Okay, I can watch it from here.
Okay, she's trying to look at her iPad. That's what we watched the video on. So, like I said, they're just hair, cat hair. I just basted it right there. So, and I'm going to chain stitch these. It makes life a little bit easier. I should have done that to begin with. I have my 1/4 inch seam guide. These, I just love my sewing machine. I really do. When I first found it, I just fell in love with it instantly. And
tell them where you found it.
yeah, I bought it at a garage sale for $50. And it's actually in very good shape. It's been a good machine. You wouldn't know it was 103 years old. That's for sure. So I really love using it. I would rather use it any time over a new one. I had to use Shell's new one, and I just truly hated it. So these were, I asked her how long flips are supposed to be. She said 6 inches, and I lose track of what I do. So I did one at 5 inches and one at 6 inches. So, which that's okay. I'll make it work.
It doesn't matter.
She said it doesn't matter, and I know it doesn't. This one is 6 inches, so I'm going to go ahead and sew the 1/4 inch seam, and then I'll cut it at 3 inches. And I really am looking forward to putting that camera underneath. I think that would be neat for you guys to just see how the old singer works. I just love listening to it. It's such a soothing sound, and just thinking of what she did and with this, what she sewed with this. When I bought it, it had a motor. It wasn't, I don't even remember if it was even working, but I knew instantly I didn't want the motor, so I found a sewing machine that was a long bobbin that was just for parts, and it actually had a handle, and they're charging quite a bit for hand cranks. So I thought, well, I'll just buy that machine. I bought it for less than what it would have been for one hand crank. So, and I used it, and then I found the long bobbin is a little different than what this one is, and it never fit perfectly. And so when I had a chance to buy this handle, I jumped on the chance. So and that's what it looks like. I probably won't iron it.
Looks pretty good.
I think it looks really pretty. I also have, what is it, a hammer? Is that what it is? I have a hammer foot, and I think I might experiment, if that's alright with you guys. Well, of course it's alright, because you can't stop me. Oh, what do I have to put it with?
That's what I'm thinking.
And this is my Fons and Porter chalk pencil. It's a mechanical pencil. I really don't feel like dragging out my stupid rotary cutter, my map, and everything. Not map. So what I'll do is, I'll just do it with my pencil and then use my scissors. I know it doesn't have to be perfect, but I don't care. It's going to be as good as I can get. So, this is that one ruler. What is it? Oh, Quilter Select. Oh, I love it. It's got the non-slid stuff all the way over it. So, I'm going to stock up on, try to get extra rulers. I love using it. Works perfect for me. I'm just not the best cutter there. So So I still got to draw the lines on Michelle Decker's Chanel book cover. I've got it, like I said, I've got all the fabric down. I gotta make the lines and then sew them. Shell can link the video on how I do that. I know it wasn't too long ago that I did so it may not be perfectly 3 inches, you know, but that's fine now. So I'm gonna go ahead and, I don't know, maybe if I fold it, it's gonna look like this. So let me press my seams down by hand. I don't know. I have to have the seams correct. It drives me nuts if they're not. I know it's a junk journal, and I know it's not, doesn't have to be extremely perfect, but, and you should always press your seams into the dark. So, what I'll do is, go ahead, see which, that side is a little off, so let me do it this way. This way it should be. See how it's, and that's when you know you have the center, so it works better when it's pressed with an iron, but I mean, when you only have a couple pieces, it doesn't make sense to bring out the iron. So I'm going to go ahead and, if I get stuff on my table, I ain't going to hear the end of it from my wife there. Because I nag her about not getting stuff on my table. This was my Christmas present, right? Birthday present. Not this year, was it?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. It's an antique table, fold down leaf table. And we saw it, and we made a good friend out of, and she is such a sweetheart, and I just love my table. So we use it, stays up, we use it all the time. So this is where Shell films, so I'm always getting on her about making sure she don't glue on my table. So.
I got paint on it the other day.
Yeah, I found that out after I watched the video. Wasn't too happy about that.
Oh.
But she cleaned it up, so. You can do it just a line on them, but it's a line of glue. But it's not necessary. This stuff's pretty dang tough. And it holds pretty good. And it dries, and it is washable. So it goes away when you wash your quilt. So that's why I started using, it just makes more sense for me to use it than pins. You know, some people, plus when I'm doing a quilt, I sew with the seam guide. I don't freehand it. I'm not a very good freehand sewer. So when you use pins and you have that seam guide, the pins are always hitting the guide, so it just makes it more difficult to use. So that's why I do it. It's just so much nicer for me. And it doesn't take a lot of it. Like I said, this stuff is pretty darn strong, so. It looks like my seam should be pretty close to being right in the middle. Move this piece up just a little bit. So, okay, I think that one's good. I'm going to let it dry. It doesn't take very long to dry, so let me do that one. And this is the 5-inch one, so I'm going to do it the same way. This one's off, so that's going to drive me nuts. So I'm going to, it looks like both of the lilac pieces or whatever are off, so off just a little bit. And since it's a junk journal, it doesn't have to be super, but it has to, I have to live with it, so, and sometimes it's just hard to live with. So we're having, I'm going to work on some more ink blenders today. I'm still not doing very good. You know, and I hope everyone knows, I don't want anyone's sympathy. If I tell you I hurt bad, I'm just not saying it. I just want understanding. It's not easy when you hurt all the time, so. Most everyone I know, they know I'm sick, and they kind of, you know, like Montezuma water, whenever I do fiber watches, is where I have to sit and watch them dig on top of my fiber. You know, he won't let me touch a shovel or anything. He makes sure I don't do things like that. So. And because I would, and I'm bad about that. I'm not a person that likes to be waited on, even by Shell. You know, I'll get up and get something when she said, well, she had told me I would have got that. Well, that's not her job, is to wait on me, so. But I love these colors. Shell's talking about doing a snowman quilt before winter, so I'm kind of excited about that. I've been thinking about starting to work on my Colorado quilt. I've only got those 2 squares done. I still have all my fabric for it. I really want to work on that. That's one of my goals this winter, is to quilt more, and of course craft more. I enjoy doing all the ink blenders. It's, you know, I'm not actually a person, if I have to do something for a job like, you know, crafting, if it becomes work to me, then I won't ever do it again, or it's going to be decades before I do. I've always loved, well, not always. Shell got into stained glass, and then, of course, I got into it, and I love it, and it's just fun to make things out of just a piece of glass. But, you know, it turned into a job, and I haven't done it since, and that's been several years ago.
Are you just rambling?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good.
And if someone don't like it, we know where it can hit him in the butt. So it's kind of, I still have all my glass, I have all my equipment, I just haven't done it. Hopefully someday I will. Because I loved it, it's fun to do. But I would take my two passions and do, boy, that is so far off. Quilting in stained glass, what I would do is make the stained glass quilt patterns in stained glass. So, like a maple leaf, I would do a maple leaf, or maybe a lotus blossom or something like that. That's a quilt pattern. This one's just, I think it's going to be okay. It's so hard for me. This one, I kind of, it's just off and it's driving me nuts. Maybe right there. Let's see if I can. Okay, I think that one's going to be okay. So the first one ought to be dry now. That was this one. I think, yeah. So let me. I put my lid back on my glue because I know I'll lose it. And I don't want to hear anyone saying, "Oh my God, he didn't put, oh no, he didn't put it on there." I did too. So let me do my seam on this one. This one, after I get done, I will iron it. Probably not on camera, but I will iron it as I want it to sit flat before you flip. And I think you put something on the back. Oh no, you don't put anything on the back of the flips, do you? Like I said, I don't want to get into that paper stuff that she does. I have no desire to do it. I didn't mind doing the origami hidden thing or bobber or corner thing. And there's also an origami bookmark I want to make for you guys. But other than that, I don't want to get into paper crafting. I'm just doing it for the sewing part of it. So I'm excited about the books. I can't wait to get my, what did she call it? The whipper snipper, the weed whacker. I can't wait to do the covers. I'm looking, and the tags. Marilyn ordered tags. So I have those to do, and we'll have 3 chenille tags for her. Well, that ain't bad at all. This is the very first one.
That is pretty.
That's almost dead center.
I'm so proud of you.
Yay!
That's
so,
beautiful. Wow.
Yeah. So before I go, I mean, I'm not done yet, but I do want to see how that, I just don't think, how my, what do you call it, hammer. I want to try my hammer foot just as a craft shoot. So before I let you go, I don't know, I just want to see how it's going to work. I've never tried it, and I'm sure if you quilt, you know, I don't know. I guess rough edges are fun, and you guys like that, but it really drives me nuts. So I thought about putting a hem on the edges and the bottom because, well, on the top too. You know, in quilting, you don't leave your, that's part of your measurement is your hem for the next square. So I might try it. I mean, I might not. I think it looks really nice. It just, I hate to see it unravel. I know that's what you people want, but I'm sorry, but I don't want it. So, shoot. Well, I wasn't holding my string tight enough. I'm getting pretty good at doing this stupid threading in my sewing machine. So, let me Yeah, I got it just like that. I actually have an antique threader too for it that you stick in the needle and then you pull the thread through, but I never use it. Okay. I plan on, I'd have to show it to you, but the seam guide does really a good job, but I don't think it's long enough, so I've been meaning to go down to our hardware store. They have copper, a sheet copper for crafts and stuff. I want to make my own seam guide that's long enough for the whole length of the project, not just part of it.
Are you using your thing? The hammer?
My what? Not yet.
Oh, okay.
I can't, well, I guess I thought I would do it after I do my, I think I told him that the fabric tags, sorry, I couldn't remember what they're called.
Yeah, you're up to like 30 minutes.
Oh, that's all right. You know what? I sewed the wrong side with the glue. Hey, but it does look good. Okay. So I'm going to iron those two. This one's a little shorter because that was the 5-inch one. I don't know. Maybe I can sew a piece of lace on it to make it a little longer. I don't know. So, okay, those are that. And then that's her stuff. That's the charity gal. And I can't remember her name. I'm so horrible with names.
I think it is Diane.
I'm pretty sure her first name is Diane. Okay, so Marilyn wants pink. She's doing 3. Oh, jeez. Hold on. Sorry. I was having a sharp pain in my back. Dang it. 3 colors. She's doing 3 books. So I'm not doing the cover. She's doing the cover. I'm just doing everything else that's fabric. So one of the colors is pink. It's pink, brown, and yellow.
Yeah.
So the pink is supposedly a rose book, I think you said. So I happened to find all this pink. This is stuff we bought at the yard, probably the thrift store. And I thought, well, these were already cut. I didn't even have to cut them. So let me grab her crap. What is it called? This stuff. The one video that I did, it's been quite a while ago, that has, and I gotta take my seam guide off for this because I don't use it for that. So, these are, I think, these are 3 inches wide, and I would assume they're 2 inches, or 3 long, 2 wide. Yeah. I have a few of those, so what I'm going to do, and they are actually roses, so it's perfect for Marilyn's journal. So I'm going to take, okay, you guys can see that. I had Shell cut me one that's 2.5 inches wide, thick, by 6, and the reason why is I also have these squares. Well, they're not 3 inches. They're 2.5 inches. So that way I could use these 2. And I may not need them. I don't know. So let me get her thingamabobber out of her glue. Okay.
Don't forget to put the pen back.
Oh, yeah, well, I won't forget to get the pen. Oh, wait. Don't want to get yelled at. Because I guarantee she'll yell at me. You got glue on your table. That's my wife for you. Okay. So, I want everyone to know that I am truly blessed. I was able to found an amazing wife. So.
Don't you forget it.
No, trust me. She wouldn't let me forget it. And I love her dearly. I love our life together. And I just... So, what I'm going to... I just don't think that's wide. I don't know how wide I'm planning on going with these. I'm just gonna do it however I think it turns out. So let me put, I think I'll put this rose down. Of course, most of that's gonna be covered up. Let me do this one. So, Probably best to start your, that's why I glued that. I don't know if it's straight or not. But if it ain't straight, it's going to drive me nuts. No, that ain't straight. Boy, that stuff is sticky. Oh well, I'll straighten it out for them. Boy, that's going to drive me nuts. Sorry guys, it's going to drive me nuts. I mean really, really going to drive me nuts. So let me start with, so I'm going to, if she cut it straight, that was the thing. If it's not
cut
cut
it straight.
yeah, okay. Yeah, I really loved it. Boy, this ruler, I mean, that it will not slide. There is a downfall, or whatever you call it. It has a when you're trying to get your marks ruler lined up, it sometimes will pull the fabric. And that's the only thing that it's, you know, it's not a bad thing. I mean, it's just, you just have to know about it and watch it. So I drew a line
On your table.
on it. Yes. So, okay. I know, and I'm probably being anal about this, but it's gonna drive me nuts if it ain't straight. There we go. So that's fine. I don't need to worry about letting it dry. Figure out about. Okay. So actually, I got to take that off because I have a magnet on my sewing machine, so that's where I put my feet and stuff. Okay, let me put her thingamabobber back in her bottle. Okay. Okay, so let's put, I don't know what kind of fabric this is. I'm not quite, I don't necessarily like the feel of it.
Sorry.
See how she is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it right here. And I do not know, probably just do it on the edge of my foot, and it's not 1/4 of an inch. I know that for a fact. So I'm done with the glue, so I'm done with my paper. Let me move my sewing machine back. So, sorry guys. I hope everyone's having a great Saturday. It's going to be hopefully a restful Saturday, and I didn't work Thursday. I did work yesterday. I had like 3 jobs. Plus I ran to Cortez, which is 25 miles away, which I know to some of you folks, that's a long ways to us. It's nothing but a hop, skip, and a jump. So I ran down there, got meds and a couple groceries for the weekend. We have to work Monday over in Durango. So I'm taking it slow. I don't want to stretch the fabric out and mess up my seam. It doesn't have to be perfect. I am going to probably backstitch this. I didn't backstitch the first one, but that's alright. This piece will. And if you do this, you probably would want to lengthen your stitches on your sewing machine. And I can show you why. I use very close stitches, and it makes the really fabric. I mean, it's has a tense. It can rip really easily, I guess is what I was trying to get at. But what I'll do, I know she'll put a she'll back it with like coffee dyed paper or something. So I don't really, truthfully, I don't need them that long. So, and I'm not going to worry too much about the straightness of it. And let me see here. This one's a interesting fabric. And I really, oh, you can see it if I hold it right. You can barely see that when you're actually looking at it. But it's such a neat design. So I'm going to use it. And so what I do is I sewed that one on like that. See? And then I fold that one up. So let me do. So then what I'm going to do is come in here and go like that. That's going to hold down that the before fabric. This can be a little time consuming when I'm trying to make sure she's doing something. Sorry, she had to pause the video and then start it back up again. So, and you know, these strips, you can do it any way you want to. Diagonal. I really, not all the tags are going to look like this. I'll make them different. So, you know, maybe I'll do one diagonal, and I have another idea for a different one. So, these are my, I think they're called perfect scissors. Isn't that what they're called, hon?
I think they are.
I think that's what they're called. They're really a nice pair of scissors. I like them. The holes are nice and bigger. They are serrated, and these are slightly curved. They have several different ones and the lengths and stuff like that, but it really is the perfect scissor for me. I imagine that's probably why they call it. It's probably a perfect scissor for a lot of people. She's laughing at me. So, and that's what it looks like. So, I'll just keep going up. And I might, you know, maybe make one that's a little bit wider. Probably don't want to go any thinner just because, oh, Cubby is on the table. Yeah, he is Daddy's pain in the butt cat. He is such a cutie pie, but he is a pain. But, you know, I know Shell says that about me too. So, it wouldn't hurt to put a little bit of glue on it just to hold it down while you're, boy, I cut that one crooked. Okay, that one's going to have to be changed because I can't deal with that. That's a little too crooked. Okay, that's a little bit better. Yeah, that's good enough for me. So, let me put about right here. I love this basting glue. Like I said, it is sometimes hard for me to squeeze it to start with. Once you squeeze it, get it going, it becomes easier for it to come out. So, let me do that. Let me see. These are... this is kind of a neat one to do. This is the one that are 2.5. So let me make sure I have it. Alright. She's doing something in there. I don't know what she's doing. What are you doing? She's making a zucchini cake. Yay! I picked our first zucchinis this week. I went out and did chores. I need a water too, come to think about it. I did chores. If you don't know, we have goats and chickens. I don't have much of a garden. It's 4 plants. The bell pepper, I have a bell pepper, cayenne pepper, and zucchini and yellow squash. And that's it. We're trying to do all raised beds. And we're doing them apart, far enough apart for a wheelchair. You know, we're trying to look towards to the future. I may end up in a wheelchair, but we'll see. You know, I don't try not to live my life that way. If I, you know, I still climb fences, even though I get in trouble with Shell and my doctor. My doctor's so funny. She doesn't want me to work. And if you don't know, we mark underground fiber optic lines, and we have to spray paint. So the first thing Doc does when she comes in there in the room is she looks down at my shoes. And if she sees paint on my shoes, she says, "Oh, I see you're still working." And I love her to death. She's an awesome doctor. But yeah, so the last time I wore my moccasins, and I wear moccasin boots, but these are actually my good moccasins, and I just kind of started wearing them for work at times. So, but I wear them, and they don't have paint on them, so she didn't know what to think when she came in there. And then, of course, Shell had to shoot her big mouth off about me still working. So, but I'm trying to, I'm hoping that with this Shell's Etsy and the ink blenders and the YouTube, that maybe this is God's way of giving me a chance to finally slow down and step back from work, because so much. I think Tuesday, I don't know if I should have told you, we had a 14-hour day. I don't know how many miles I walked. I bet it had to be close to probably, what do you think, hon? 10 miles probably? Jeez. I said I probably walked 10 miles Tuesday, didn't I? Yeah, I probably walked about 10 miles Tuesday. My body was not happy.
Well, yeah, probably. 'Cause I walked 5.
She walked 5, and I usually end up walking quite a bit more than she does. So, and it's all good, you know. It's one of those things. I'm just trying to keep my body moving, you know. I love work. I love to locate. It has been a true gift. You know, it really and truly has. But I also know my body's telling me that it's time to step back, and sometimes you gotta do what your body tells you to do. So, good Lord willing, this will be our chance to actually be able to be home. And I want to have a huge garden. I think our garden's like 50 by 30, I think, or something like that. We usually try to grow pumpkins. We don't grow carving pumpkins, we grow eating pumpkins. So there's one called the red warty thing, and it makes amazing pies, and it's incredible. And I didn't even grow any pumpkins this year. I thought about it, but I just didn't get there. It's hard for me to find the time to do that. So hopefully once that slows down. We do have our babies. We checked on our baby chicks, and they're still doing they're still doing well. Mom pecked at me quite a few times, and when I picked up the babies to see how they were doing, and they're doing very good. We got another Banny girl sitting, and I don't know if Shell told you, but apparently we have 2 Banny roosters, and we keep one. We separated them. That way they don't fight. It's not a fun thing when your Bannies kill each other. So we separated them, and apparently the one's in with the full size chickens, and the other one's with the Bannies. Well, apparently that full size one figured out how to get some of the hens, because I cracked an egg and it had a baby in it. And I'm not a... Oh, that's alright. She said I shouldn't tell you this, but oh well. That is what it is. I don't like hurting animals whatsoever. I'm not just... So, we did butcher our... We have butchered chickens. But anyway, it kind of broke my heart. And so, trying to make sure that we don't have any, making sure when I pick the eggs up, it's not from the place where they're sitting. So I just don't want to hurt them. We may end up having some Banny full-size mixed babies pretty soon. I know I love chicks, and we haven't had chicks for a while. We usually raise them in the house to begin with. I like my Bannies. I just love my Bannies so much, and they're my pets. So yeah, would like to get some different types of Bannies. I have the one rooster's a Seabright Banny, and he's a golden Seabright. He's just beautiful. We actually had the silver one hen, and then she died. So that was a bummer. They're beautiful. The Seabrights are beautiful. Chicken, they really are. I usually try to get they're called Dutch Bannies. They're really tiny. They're about the size of a dove. And they're just the sweetest disposition. We happen to, a lot of times when you order chickens like at the feed store, you know, it's a straight run. Bannies are a straight run because it's really hard to sex them. Well, we ended up getting a porcelain Dutch Banny. Her name was Dovey. She was about the size of a dove, and she was the absolutely sweetest little girl. And oh, she was my baby. She would run up if I'd go out and look for her, you know, go outside and talk to him or something, and she'd come running, and she'd want me to pick her up, and she would just lay in my hand. I could walk everywhere with her, and she would never fuss or anything. She was just a doll. I just loved her to death. She was so sweet. And one day she was gone, and of course that just absolutely broke my heart. And we hadn't seen her. It was probably a good 2 weeks that we hadn't seen her, and I looked for her. You know, I really did look for her. Well, all of a sudden we drive up one day, and here she comes out of a lilac bush where we parked, and she had a little bitty baby. And I'm telling you, that baby was mean. I never really cared for her baby. We named her Peeps because she would peep out of Dovey's wing, and Dovey was so proud of that little girl, and she had to show that little baby off. It was the sweetest thing you'd ever seen. She was a doll. But we put her and the baby in a cage, and we came home one day, and the baby was there, but Dovey was gone. Which, that leads, I still think someone took her, because, I mean, if it was a predator, the predator would have went after the baby first, not the mama. You know, so it was kind of, it broke my heart. She was just the sweetest little thing. I just loved her to death. And then we had a full-size, Cochin, I think it was a Cochin. Well, they got out, they were in the pen with the goats, and I found her, and she was hurt, and so I nursed her back to health. I kept her away from everyone else, and I named her Red. She was a little red little girl, and she was the sweetest little thing. And every morning I would tell her, okay, come on, Red, you ready to go out? And I'd open the door, and she'd run out and just stay out all day. And then I'd open the door again, and I'd say, okay, Red, it's bedtime. And here she'd come running, and she lived for probably 2 more years after that, and she was the only hens we've ever buried. And she was just a doll. Boy, she knew her name, and yeah, she was a sweetheart. I was a little afraid I was going to miss my thread I think that is, it's kind of, I don't know, maybe I'll embellish it more. I think that's what you call it. Crud. That one didn't work. So, well, I'm off and you can see the tag. I don't like that. I thought I had it like I said, the squares are 2.5 inches, so I thought I had it to the edge. So what I'm going to do is I am going to glue this one down, and I'm going to completely cover it, so I don't have to. There we go. I can't see that. That just is going to bother me. So I did this. Okay, let me see here. I don't know if it would matter. No, I don't want to do that. I'll do one of these, I guess. It's going to drive me nuts. So I'm going to go ahead and put it right here again. And when you're doing this, you always want to make sure the right sides of your fabric are down. That way when you fold it over, your right sides are facing up. So let me do this again. I don't like that. So, and there we go. Now, if I told you, I am backstitching these since I don't have my guide on them. That way, they don't unravel. Okay, I'm almost done. Yeah, I couldn't handle that. That would drive me nuts having that piece of tag showing. So. And I'll come in, I'll show you. I'm just going to trim off the edges when I'm ready. Okay. So I'm going to do two other types of fabric flips for Maryland, or fabric tags, I mean. So, okay, there we go. There's a little bit of that one showing that I covered up, and that's all right. You know, I mean, it just adds to it. So, let me. I would have kept it, but with that showing, I just would have drove me nuts. And I want it to look, you know, good. I don't want it to look like a piece of crap. So, no shell tells me not to say that, but that is who I am. So, I'm not a vulgar person. I'm actually very tender-hearted. I don't like. So for this will be, and then she's going to end up cutting to make it look like a tag. So, just put this right here. Hopefully I can do this without. Probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew this, and then I'm going to, I'll show it to you real quick. Cubby's butt's in the way. Cubby's such a neat, I understand why you guys like him so much. He is such a neat little guy. I always think he's got multiple personalities, but he's definitely a cat that you wouldn't want more than one of. And it's the same way with my girl Chloe. She is a very opinionated little girl, and she'll backtalk you. I always tease that she's dad reincarnated, and I tell you, the little girl's got an attitude, and she'll tell you exactly what to kiss, and you know it. She doesn't. She makes it clear that she's telling you to kiss her fuzzy butt. But I just love her dearly. We tried to lay down yesterday, but I had calls and I couldn't sleep. I was hurting so much. I was just having a hard time just laying in bed. So, but we loved and we spent our time together. So she's a very okay. So This one I'm going to actually, here, let me show you. This one I glued on the tag, the bottom. You can do that with the same one, but what I'm going to do instead of that, I'm going to take this and I am going to actually fold it even with the tag like that, and I'll turn it over and I'm going to sew from the bottom. There we go. I'll probably make 2 passes on this at different widths. So I really want it to make it look like it's, so I'm probably go as close as I can to the edge of it. And I'm going to do it slow because and I will probably, well, I don't know if I will. I might have Shell finish it. I might have her zigzag it on her sewing machine. I actually bought Shell a vintage called a Silmore, and they were made in Japan. After a lot of the Singer lookalikes and stuff were made in Japan. It is a zigzag machine. It was back from the 50s, and it's actually 50s or 60s, might even been the 40s, but it's this pretty pink and kind of a gray color. It's really pretty, and I'll probably use it. I want to get it serviced, and I'll probably use it as my zigzag machine. I just don't want to use her new one. And there's nothing wrong with her new one. Please don't yell at me because I said that. It's just I don't. I like the older stuff. So there is one dilemma, and I didn't even think about it. That doesn't lay there. So what I'm going to do is probably come in. See if I can. What do you think?
I like it.
So
we can make it work.
Well, what I'm going to do is actually, you know what? What do you think? And then, no, I don't like that. That's all right. Let me do it this way. I just want to make sure and cut it straight. Okay, that was my dilemma. See? So what I'm going to do is probably come in. I might have her put a piece of lace right there. Because I really am not going to spend the time to fool with it right now. Just to cover it up. Whoops, I almost did it. Keep forgetting to hold on to my threads. I think a piece of lace would be beautiful right now, huh?
Yeah, well, I'll do that later.
Well, I don't want you to do it now.
Oh, okay, I thought you said you.
No, I said I was going to have you do that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. How much time do we have? Do we have time to at least test out this ruffler? Not ruffler.
You can try it. You're right at an hour, so it's up to you.
I don't know. Hopefully you guys bear with me. I'm going to let her trim. Do you want to trim that real quick?
Yeah, I'll trim it. We'll turn it off, and you can get set up for your next part.
Okay. Go ahead and you. Okay, guys. I'm not going to do the fluffer for not the fluffer. Oh Lord, it's going to be one of those days. The hem. I'm not going to hem the fabric flips. I want to work on it first and maybe read up on it. So, I guess that's it for this video. I'm going to let you guys go. I need to put the glue on the thing on my glue so I don't get dried out. I appreciate you guys watching. I really do. And I'm going to show you the hemming foot another time. I want to work with it and just see what all I can do. I'm going to go ahead and iron my 2 fabric flips and get those all ironed up. And like I said, I might see about maybe putting some lace or something to add a little bit more length to the smaller one. and I did pay attention to the direction of my pattern, just as a note. If you look, I know it's going to be a fabric flip, so I wanted to make the stripes, make sure they went up and down, and I did that on both of them. So please give this a thumbs up if you've liked it, and I appreciate you watching our videos. I really do. And so I am going to let you guys go. I'm going to try to work on a few other things I got to do. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. You got anything to say, beautiful?
I'm surprised you've hung around with him this long.
Yeah. One of the girls said, "Where can I get a Clint?" And I told her I'm a little hard to handle at times, truthfully. I don't know.
So true.
I don't know if getting another Clint's a good idea, because, you know, like I said, I do have a problem with being told what to do. Not by Shell. She never really tells me what to do. But I do get a little bit pissed off at computers that tell me to turn my volume down and everything. So. But I hope everyone has a great weekend, and take care, and we'll talk to you later.
Be sure and subscribe.
Oh, yeah, that.
And we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye, everyone.